right, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Power. In this video, I want to talk about Andrew Jacked. Probably the standout for a lot of people at the 2025 Mr. Olympia. Achieving his highest Olympia placing to date and probably his best condition to date. And pretty notably, beating Samson Dauda, the reigning, defending Olympia champ, who wound up in 4th place, Andrew ending up in 3rd. Now, there's this interesting conversation when it comes to specifically Derek and Hadi compared to Andrew and Samson. There has been this like short versus tall bodybuilder debate when it comes to open bodybuilding. A lot of people seem to prefer an Andrew Jacked or a Samson Dauda. In this case, I think we're specifically talking about Andrew Jacked. Samson Dauda dropped the ball here. But Andrew Jacked was at his all-time best. Finally brought the condition that we wanted to see from him. He was a showstopper here. He was the talk of the show. A lot of people left that show saying, why didn't Andrew Jacked win? And I'll be the first to admit, after the FIBO Pro showing earlier this year that we saw from Andrew Jacked, I wasn't super impressed with what we saw. Andrew Jacked has a great physique, superhero physique, round, full, 3D, tall, heavy, 300-pounder, crazy amount of muscle, crazy fullness, and these 3D, like, insane muscle bellies. One of the best physiques I think we've ever seen, but the condition was always an issue. And then earlier this year when he qualified in FIBO, I still think that prejudging version of Andrew Jacked was like an off-season guest posing looking type of appearance. And that was confirmed by the fact that Sas Harati at that show placed ahead of Andrew Jacked at the prejudging. Now, Andrew Jacked won with the final score. But Sas Harati, who was outside of the top 10 at the Olympia, beat Andrew Jacked at prejudging because Andrew was that far off the mark with condition. So I wasn't fully convinced that at the Olympia this year, Andrew Jacked was going to bring that level of condition. It seems like from year to year, he hadn't really gotten better when it comes to condition until now. And now we're seeing Andrew at his all-time best. And now Andrew Jacked has confirmed he's going to compete in Romania before the end of the year. He doesn't even need to qualify for next year's Olympia. He's qualified now with the Olympia placing this year, meaning he doesn't even need to compete. But we will see him compete again in Romania. I hope that he does the Arnold Classic 2026. Like I said in my previous video, I've already heard that potentially Samson and Derek are not doing the 2026 Arnold. So I'm thinking what it sounds like now is maybe the best guys are going to be maybe Nick, Martin, and Andrew at the Arnold next year. And maybe potentially Keon, depending on what Keon decides to do. But Andrew has a really good shot at winning the Arnold next year and developing really good momentum going into the 2026 Olympia. Do I think that Andrew Jacked can win the Olympia? 1,000%. And what I think he needs to do is I think he still needs to add some size, some density, some fullness to that lower body. And this goes back to the conversation of a tall versus a short bodybuilder. Andrew Jacked is much taller than Hadi Chupin and Derek Lunsford. His legs are longer. He has a longer frame to fill out. That's why the legs don't look in the side poses and some of the back poses. They don't really look as full, as thick, as dense as Derek or Hadi. And that's really the only thing that he has left to do. He's definitely met the mark with condition. This is the condition that Andrew Jacked needs to bring to win the Olympia. I think the only thing left is adding that size to the lower body so that head to toe he is complete, he's balanced, he's proportional, and he can look thick in those side poses, in those back poses next to the shorter guys that have shorter legs, because it's a little bit more difficult for Andrew Jacked to really add that like full, thick look to the lower body because his legs are so long. And that's kind of been the root of this debate with tall versus short. Should they be separate classes I'm seeing now? all this stuff, and I get it, but I think that's what Andrew Jacked needs to do, is add some size to the lower body and bring this same condition. Now, I also want to address this ChatGPT thing. I've got a lot of questions about this. I see a lot of people asking me about this. I see it in my comments. So, after prejudging, ChatGPT apparently predicted Andrew Jacked to win the Olympia. And this is no shade on Muscle Discord, who I know is a huge proponent of the ChatGPT getting involved in bodybuilding thing. I just think it's I think it's dumb. I think it's stupid. I mean, right off the bat, ChatGPT was wrong. Andrew Jacked, after prejudging, was almost in 4th place. It was a 1-point decision after prejudging between Andrew and Samson for 3rd and 4th place. So Andrew was almost 4th. And ChatGPT said he was going to win the show based on the pictures and videos fed into the system. But here's my stance on this ChatGPT thing, and this is why I think it's dumb. And again, this is no shade on Muscle Discord. It's just that bodybuilding is such a subjective sport. It's probably the most subjective sport, to the point where you can almost not even call it a sport. It's completely opinion based. There's no touchdowns, there's no field goals, there's no home runs, there is no data. There is no solid points of data that you can use to try to predict a bodybuilding show. It's all opinion-based, the opinions of the judges. In this ChatGPT, this AI thing, it does not have the capacity to form an opinion. You feed it data, and it tries to give you, potential outcomes, or like based on these statistics. None of that really applies to bodybuilding. Bodybuilding is and always will be subjective. It always is and will be human opinion based. ChatGPT, to be honest, is like a glorified search engine. It cannot judge a bodybuilding show. And when you feed it pictures and video, it's just not the same thing. You're feeding it a 2-dimensional image, a 2-dimensional video, and it's analyzing silhouettes. It's analyzing pixels, and it's trying to come up with, based on these criteria, which pixels in these silhouettes best fit the criteria. It's just not the same. It's not judging in person. You're feeding it videos. You're feeding it pictures. It's not the same as a live in-person judge. It's not 3D. It's not live. You guys know what I'm saying. It's not good. ChatGPT is not a good idea to involve in bodybuilding. I think it's an interesting talking point. It's like an interesting idea to bring up. Could AI, if you input the rules of bodybuilding and all the criteria and then feed it pictures and videos, could it pick the ideal winner? It's an interesting idea. But to be honest, I think it's completely stupid. Bodybuilding is and always will be subjective, opinion-based, judged by humans. Again, there's no knockouts, there's no touchdowns. This whole point system, it's all just the opinions of the judges, and that's just always what it is going to be. There's no data point, there's no statistic, there's nothing that you can feed ChatGPT that's going to give you an accurate judging of a bodybuilding show. It's just not going to happen. I feel like it predicting Andrew Jacked to win. Andrew Jacked is the biggest guy on that stage. He has the most defined, when I talk about like the 3D muscle look, his muscles, when you look at him in 2D, if you feed ChatGPT a video or a picture, they're going to be the most carved out and defined looking because they're so bubbly, because they're so round. So when you feed that to an AI and it's analyzing muscles and definition or whatever, looking at a 2D image, it's going to pick Andrew Jacked. He's the tallest. He's the biggest. He has the most 3D looking muscles. It's going to pick him. And I want to know what you guys think about this in the comments down below, because I keep seeing this. I've seen this a lot this whole past week. The ChatGPT says that Andrew Jacked should have won. And to me, every time I see it, I'm like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. You don't want bodybuilding to be judged by data points in algorithms in a machine. That's not how it works. The subjectiveness of bodybuilding is what makes it interesting. It's what makes it fun. It's what makes it cool. Like, that is the essence of bodybuilding. It's literally professional judges' opinions. There is no machine, there's no algorithm, there's no data points that are going to give you the outcome that I think is going to be the best outcome. Unless you had, maybe 100 years from now, if there's like a live AI judge that you could have like fully 3D scan live in person, each bodybuilder on stage live at the event, tell us their body fat, tell us the water content of their skin, tell us every possible dimension of every body part, like every single measurement of every single attribute, and then like calculate that into a winner. But even that, I feel like we don't even want that. The only way that this AI thing works in bodybuilding is if it's like all math, just very detailed, minute math, and it has like a live 3D scanner, measures every body part, every proportion, every, the thinness of the skin, the body fat content, and calculates all that into some number that equates to the win. I don't even think that's what we want. And right now, it's not there. AI is not there. ChatGPT is not there. I don't like this idea. And again, it's no shade on people that are proponents of this. I just keep seeing these comments. Well, ChatGPT says Andrew Jack should have won. I think it's dumb. Andrew Jack was third place. So ChatGPT was wrong. It's not a good predictor of who's going to win a bodybuilding show. It does not line up with the judging. There's all these flaws with it. And to be honest, if it ever does evolve to that point in the future where it becomes this big mathematical equation, if you take the dimensions of every body part divided by the body fat and divided by the water in the skin with a 3D scan, it takes out all the fun of bodybuilding. So the only way that AI would be able to judge a bodybuilding show like accurately takes out all the fun of bodybuilding. Being a bodybuilding fan is you liking a guy's physique for subjective reasons, and guys win the Olympia for subjective reasons. It's all opinion based, and that's what makes it fun. And I feel like the only accurate way that AI could be applied to bodybuilding would be some weird mathematical equation of all these very specific measurements, and then nobody's opinion even matters, because it doesn't matter if a mathematical determination is what makes the person win the Olympia. The way bodybuilding is fine. This is what it should be. And this is probably going to ruffle some feathers, but it's a glorified beauty pageant. It's an opinion. It's subjective. That's how it should be. There should not be a very strict mathematical, this is how you win, AI can determine it with an algorithm thing. It should be subjective. But anyway, the point of this video was, I see this argument with Andrew Jack. I see the AI predicted him to win. Best look that he ever brought to the Olympia. Highest Olympia placing ever. The question is, do I think Andrew Jack can ever win the Olympia? The answer is yes. If he continues to bring this condition, and he can add size to his lower body to compete with these shorter guys that are more compact, that have that head-to-toe thickness in the lower body. If he can add a little bit of size to the lower body in the right places and keep this same condition, 1,000% he can win the Olympia. And I'm with you guys. Like, I get it. I understand the appeal of these taller guys' physiques. But the way that bodybuilding is judged, it's about proportion. It's about balance. It's about completeness. And the shorter guys just have an advantage. They're shorter. They have shorter legs. They have shorter arms. It's easier for them to fill out these body parts like in an equal way. It's easier for them to look balanced and proportioned to a guy like Andrew Jack that has these long legs. It is an unfair advantage, but that's what bodybuilding is. Does your lower body match your upper body? Is everything balanced? And that's why these shorter guys win, and I know people have a problem with it, but that just is what it is. That's what bodybuilding is who has the most complete all-around physique. They're the most balanced. All the muscle groups match. And to be frank, I don't think Andrew Jack should have won this year. I think he was close, but I think when you really are honest and you look at the lower body, he was in his best condition of his life. No denying that. This was the best Andrew Jack. He did everything he needed to do. But the lower body, when you really look at it, head to toe, it did not match his upper body. and it was not on par, I think, especially from the side and from the back with the other guys in that lineup, even Derek and Hadi being shorter. The lower body just wasn't quite there to match the upper body. And I really think when it comes down to it, that's probably the main reason he didn't win. If he was in that same condition and his lower body was bigger, denser, thicker, with that type of condition, he would have won. But I'm curious to hear what you guys think about all this in the comments below, particularly about the AI part. I feel like I've seen more questions about this whole AI thing over the last couple days than anything. And honestly, I think it's totally stupid. To be completely honest with you guys, I don't think it should be something that we want or need or should be applied to bodybuilding. It just doesn't make any sense. Bodybuilding is subjective, and AI right now is objective. It uses facts and data points as like predictors for things. And I think that alone, just by nature, bodybuilding is subjective. What people use AI for is objective. They are two different things. And I think the whole thing is just really dumb. We can sit and analyze and criticize pictures and videos of the Mr. Olympia. But I don't think that you can say we can feed pictures and videos of the Olympia to an AI and the AI can tell us who should win. It's just not how it works. The AI is not there live in person looking at a 3D image. They're analyzing a 2D version of a bodybuilder. It's never going to be a thing. But as far as Andrew Jacked goes, I keep getting the question, do I think he can win the Mr. Olympia? Yes, I do, and I just explained to you under what circumstances. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel. Click that bell notification icon if you have not already. And as always, I love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Nick Strength and Power signing out. All right, guys, don't forget to click that like button and subscribe to this channel if you enjoy the content. Also, check out my Instagram at Nick Strength Power. My Facebook page, which is simply Nick Strength and Power. My secondary YouTube channel, Nick Strength and Vlogs, for vlogs and bonus content that you will not see on this channel. And consider subscribing to my third YouTube channel, Nick Strength and Pokemon, which is all things Pokemon and trading card games, completely unrelated to this channel. So if you're into that, give that one a look. And all links to merchandise and social media will be in the description box below. If you guys want a Nick Strength and Power t-shirt, that will be in the Shopify link below. Have a great day.